Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson. We are rolling through our series on peaking pitfalls. And Adam, when you suggested this one, I thought he's lost his marbles. Why in the world? What is this even on? Like, how are we going to talk about this? Adam suggested, guys, that we talk about what happens if you have a heart attack. What happens if you have a heart attack? I think you need to go to the hospital. But
yeah,
in all seriousness, these kind of things happen, and maybe one person a year does actually die, typically because they're performance-enhancing drug-using competitors, and they've dehydrated, and now they've completely cut out sodium, they've increased potassium. All of those variables together with the low blood pressure of being lean and dehydrated is the perfect storm for cardiac arrest. And that's why this is the condition for that. So number one, if you are somebody who's going to dehydrate, if you are somebody who's going to just drop your sodium down to nothing, and you are somebody who's going to increase potassium, just know right up front that you are putting yourself in the position to have a legit heart attack and die. So first of all, I would avoid those things. Go back to our series and our episodes on peaking and learn why not to do any of those things. But you should also be on the lookout for some of those symptoms. I mean, you're gonna start feeling ill. You're gonna start, of course, having the proverbial chest pains or left arm pain. You could get nauseous. You could get cold. You could get weak and shaky. You could actually start losing consciousness. A lot of those symptoms are almost like hypoglycemia, but with the compounded, chest and left arm symptoms. But since this was your topic, Adam, what did you want to specifically mention?
Yeah, especially that, do not cut salt and astronomically raise potassium while cutting water. I mean, that is the perfect cocktail to die, especially if you're using diuretics with that. Some are sodium sparing, some are potassium sparing, and that's where that gets really dangerous. And, there was a young gentleman that actually had a heart attack at USA's this year. And, this stuff happens. You don't hear it talked about a lot. But, this coach is probably giving the same protocol out to hundreds of his clients. And I think that would be a big red flag to me if my coach had someone on their team that had a heart attack. So wake up, people.
Yeah. So I can't say any more than that. I mean, that perfectly nails why we would never recommend those things and what to look for. But some of the steps that lead toward that are equally, issues that you should be afraid of and be wary of and recognize. And I've been to contests, Adam, where I see people in the lineup, they're on stage, and all of a sudden they just start teetering and wobbling, and you see their eyes start to close. And I've seen people just totally face plant on stage. And of course, that's going to be indicative of dehydration more than anything. If you start feeling anything like that, even if your coach is still back in the 1930s and telling you to dehydrate, don't drink water, don't have sodium, if you are feeling those kind of symptoms, you have to break from that person and realize that they probably not only don't know what they're doing, but your literal life and health and maybe even your teeth are on the line. And so you got to say, look, I just have to get a couple sips of matter. I got to do something. It's matter of fact, it's going to make you look better, but you have to pay attention to your health and know that on contest day, this is a time where you should be just like any other athlete. You should feel good. You should feel strong and healthy. And all of those things would be indicative that you've been doing things right. If you feel horrible, you need to really worry about that.
Right. And they have medical professional at all these shows. So definitely make sure to reach out to these people. And these are, nurses and, they're going to tell you drink water.
Yeah, hopefully they do. That would be great if every promoter made sure they had somebody like that on the premise. But all right, guys, stay tuned. We're going to talk about one or two more things as we finish up this episode, or I should say this series on peaking pitfalls. So we will see you next time in Contest Prep U.